Hello everyone and welcome back to STEM Sprouts. Today we're going to be talking about frogs. So because we're talking about frogs, I am currently in life in a pine log because a lot of frogs can be found in pine forests. But we're going to talk a little bit about frogs because they're my favorite animal. They are in a group called amphibians. So amphibians are animals that can live on the land and in water. Frogs are special like that. They also are super cool and they can breathe through their skin. And because of that, they can stay underwater for a while, but they can also be on land. So this is a frog that we have here at the museum. As you can see, he has 2 eyes on the top of his head. He has a mouth and he has 4 legs. But some of his legs, when he sits, are curled up a little bit. So they curl up like this while he sits, and this helps him bounce because that is the way that he moves. But we are going to talk a little bit about frogs, where they live, and how they grow. They have a special cycle, just like butterflies have a type of metamorphosis. So they change from an egg into a full frog, like this guy here. So I'm going to show you a little insert from a book about amphibians. So frogs, toads, newts, and salamanders belong to a group of animals called amphibians. They spend part of their lives on land and part in water. But amphibians don't live in the sea. They go back to water when it is time to lay their eggs. Females or the girl frogs can lay up to from 1,000 to 20,000 eggs. They usually lay them in streams or rivers. So these are a few different frogs here. We have tree frogs, which if you look really closely, they have some little circles at the edge of their fingers, and that helps them stick to trees. We also have, here's a North American bullfrog, which they can be really, really big. But they make a big croaking sound. So if you're out by a pond at night, you might hear them go croak. So that's the kind of noise that they make. There's all different types of frogs out in the world. There's even ones that are bright colors. When frogs are bright colors, that usually means stay away from me, because they could be poisonous. So they could make you really, really sick. But as we talked about before, frogs have really, really long legs and long bodies, and these long, strong legs help them jump because that's their way of getting around, at least on land. They also use these long, strong legs to swim in the water. But frogs go through a process of metamorphosis. So they start out as these tiny little eggs, so they're usually clear with a little black spot, and those are the baby frogs. Their second stage is called a tadpole. So this is a tadpole. This is the beginning of their life, and the beginning of their life where they start moving, and they need to be in water for this. So as you can see, it kind of looks like a little fish because he has a big tail, but he doesn't have any legs yet. They then grow legs and become a froglet. So froglets can live on land a little bit, but most of their time they still spend in the water, and then they become a full frog. So that is the way that frogs grow. So they start out in the water as the eggs, and then as they get bigger, they grow out of their egg, and then they become a tadpole. And tadpoles only have a way to swim, so they swim through the water for a while, and they eat a bunch of stuff in the water. Then they get big enough to become a froglet, and they grow their legs, and the froglet can hop around, but it still has a tail, so it can still swim really well. And then when they become full frogs, they can live in the water and they can be on land at the same time. That is really up to the frog. So today we don't really have an activity. I'm going to, if you get the kits, I'm going to include a life cycle of the frog that you can color in. Otherwise, I will also leave a link to that down below, so that you can still download it and print it off yourself, and then join along with me that way. But I hope you guys enjoyed this lesson today. Thank you for joining me for STEM Sprouts, and we'll see you again soon.